What is your advice to make the world a better place?
What's my advice to make the world a better place? Wow, that's a deep question. I think that right now, I'm trying to get serious now. This is a serious part of the interview. Making the world a better place. I'll give two things. One, if you notice what I said or what I've consistently said in the interview, when I talked about this, I said, how can I make life slightly less miserable? I said that a lot. Do you remember?
Exactly.
That's how I think about it. I think about how can I make the question is, how can you make your life less miserable? Because misery is a non-questionable factor of life, period. There's going to be misery. Life is miserable. I listen to a lot of Jordan Peterson. You probably know who that
is. Yes, I know him.
Yeah, he's really popular in your region. But I listen to a lot of him. He says, life is miserable, and that's so true. And I don't think that, make the world a better place. Life is like, I don't think we should think about it as making it better. We should think about it as life being the most terrible and most scariest place ever, and slowly coming away from that. It's slowly getting less. Life is slowly getting less and less and less miserable. And when you think about it like that, you can really look into your life and you can say, okay, what am I doing every single day that I probably should not be doing? Like, what am I wasting my time on? What am I spending an hour or 2 hours doing? Like, am I watching too many movies? Like, am I fucking playing too many video games? Am I talking to too many girls? Am I drinking too much? What am I doing that's causing me more misery that I don't have to be experiencing? Once you think about it like that, you can then start to peel back off from another beer, because the beer is bringing you misery. You can start to not watch that second Netflix movie because it's not doing anything. You think about your life as making it less miserable, because once you make that the goal, you're making the presumption that misery is inevitable. You're going to be miserable no matter what. You have to be okay with that. So once you say you're making it less miserable, you're understanding and you are content with the fact that you're going to be miserable, and you are doing as best as you are making an effort to make this world less miserable. And that is a far more deeper thesis and a far more deeper mission than making the world a better place. Because I think when people say make the world a better place, I think you can really get lost into that, because that falls under the notion of no misery, and they fall under the notion of there shouldn't be struggle, and there shouldn't be adversity, and that's how you get into this socialist, this utopian mindset that the left has a lot. Like fucking a lot of people have. They think that there shouldn't be. No one's for poverty. No one's for people being homeless. No one wants people to be hungry. But these are non-removable things of life, and we have to understand that these things are just going to happen. We're never going to get to a point where it's perfect, because making the world a better place, because better and better and better, the end result of better and better and better is utopia, and that's never going to happen. So that's why that's the biggest flaw in saying making the world a better place. Once you have to make the world slightly less miserable, because our current system we have now is not perfect. It's misery. So if we can focus on making things less, did my sound go out?
No, perfectly. The sound is perfectly.
Okay, cool. Yeah. When you focus on when your end goal isn't a utopia, but it's a dystopia, it's a perfect dystopia. I think that should be our end goal. We should want to be in a point where we should want to get to the point where things are as not terrible as they could be. That is the best way that we can, that's the best that we can do as human beings. We've been here for like what, thousands and thousands of years. If there was like a one trick, and every single time, if you look in history, like I told you this year, I've looked back, I've read things that happened in Germany, I've read things that happened in Europe in the 20th century during the fucking like the Holocaust. I read about the
The
Holodomor
Nazis.
during the when all those people in Ukraine, like the famine. I read about, you know, slavery. I read about Hitler and his during 1939 to 1945, the Second War. Like I read about all these times, and Stalin and Lenin. I read about these times when society was going towards utopia. That's where all the mayhem starts.